get really nervous before everyone. So I like to do that little breathing, get oxygen flowing in the body.
Your reality is really strong. You know who you are. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you. I'd like to welcome everybody back today, Alabama Care. And today we have Rabbi Levi Weinbaum with us, and we're going to be talking about work opportunities for young adults with disabilities and full circle. And at this point, I'd like to hand it back over. Rabbi, if you would introduce yourself.
First of all, thank you so much for having me. Greatly appreciated, and so excited to be on this show with you. Um, my name is Levi Weinbaum. I came to Birmingham in 2012, um, and my goal was to help out with the special needs community. I got straight involved and started becoming a chapter of the Friendship Circle, which is an international organization helping families and children, young adults with special needs. As I was doing that, it came to a realization to me that there was many young adults as they were growing up and getting more into their late teens, early 20s, that were finding hard to keep a job or even finding a job. And that's when I realized there was a gap in the community, and I decided I need to find something to do for that gap.
Hmm. Employment is such a big topic in the disability community, and that transition age that you're talking about, really 14 to 24. There's a big transition out of the school, whether that's 18, 19, or 21. And then what does life look like after that? And work is such an important part of everyone's life, starting at a young age. So I love that you found that gap there and really honed in on that. Now, when you say providing solutions to that gap, what does that look like with Full Circle?
So it's really amazing is that it didn't happen overnight. I saw the gap and I realized I need to do something. And I would probably say there was a good 30 to 40 people, volunteers, who worked over the last 3 or 4 years to brainstorm what could really work for these young adults coming into a storefront, a store place. We're working with and asking them the way they feel and what they would want to see. So there was many different parts of this puzzle. So a big shout out to all those people who really did make this dream come true, and it's continuing to expand. So what we did was when we opened the store, one of the biggest thing was creating jobs. Obviously, having a clothing store, you can have people putting things on hangers, but our goal is to keep on continuously trying to create jobs and to make jobs for these young adults, no matter of their capabilities. They should know they come in as a family who loves them, a family who wants to greet with them, and to be there for them and to really enjoy them.
So Full Circle is a storefront here in Alabama, and the location is in Homewood. Is that correct?
Correct.
And is there one location, or are you guys expanded into a second?
So we started off at the Levitt Jewish Community Center when we were trying to get the idea down set. They very kindly gave us a space over there to use. And once we realized that we are ready to take the leap of faith and jump into the real world, we went ahead and we got a storefront. And really, it's really beautiful. So right now we have one location in Homewood. Um, that's where we are at the present moment.
Yeah, and so for anybody that's looking for your store and what the experience can look like for them, so there are clothes available there. I've seen pictures online. You guys also have a website store where it makes it very easy to purchase those clothes. You can do it at the convenience of your home anywhere around the world. Um, so you have the storefront that has the clothes, but the main driving force behind this is really giving opportunities, work opportunities to young adults with disabilities. Now, where does your connection? What is your driving force for wanting to focus on that?
So I'm gonna backtrack a little bit because you mentioned a few different things over there. So I want to entertain the thought about um, people have come into the store and even people who have advertised for us for the store. They say, "Oh, this is a clothing store," and actually, it's not. It's everything that a woman can want: accessories, gym clothes, sweaters, dresses, different kind of dresses for parties and so on. So we have really everything: shoes, jewelry, sunglasses, hats, you name it, we have it, and we're really there to have everything. So when a woman comes in, she can have a full experience of a full shopping spree at the store. So that's number one. About online, we do have a website. Um, right now, we're linked to Poshmark. We take our higher end items and we put them on Poshmark, which we're soon going to also link to the website, our website that people can buy stuff off the website. So those are just experiences. When you do come in, actually, everyone is pretty amazed at the store. It's one of the things that our parents who we were speaking to beforehand told us is that a lot of times when the young adults go to work, they kind of get put into maybe a back end of a store or they get put into a messy place. Our goal is to be super organized. And the parents who have come in and seen their children working, they are like, I feel like they're in a high class, thriving place, and they've never really experienced this for our children. So they're extremely impressed. And so far, all of our shoppers who have come in, and some of them quite a few times already, even though we're only open for a few months, they're like, this is, everyone needs to know about this. This is the best place to shop. So the prices are good, the items are higher end items, and so on.
I love how you say that sometimes for work opportunities in the community, maybe they're at a big corporation, and some of those jobs, like you mentioned, aren't front facing with the customers. And a lot of individuals, me as well, I like having interaction with others. It's something that gives me energy to be able to interact with others. So giving that opportunity for those that are comfortable with that, to be, right there as soon as someone walks through the door. Hey, how you doing? What you looking for? Let's help you find something today. Is a really cool experience. Now, how long ago did Full Circle open its doors?
So full circle, in December or January last year, we had this place at the Levitt Jewish Community Center, and then in December, mid-December this year, we had a soft opening, and just last week, a week and a bit, we had our ribbon cutting, homeward ceremony. So we're really, a storefront is established really maybe 2 months, and I've seen a ginormous increase in people coming in, people so happy to support. I'm going to go back to what you said is, um, from the young adults with special needs, some of them do want to be up front and greeting people and saying hello to people, and some of them don't. Thank God for our volunteers, a lot of them who have extreme knowledge with young adults with special needs and children with special needs. They're helping slowly increase that someone who might want to stay a little bit out of sight, we call them to the front when someone wants to be rung up and pay for their items, or maybe you can have one customer when they come in instead of helping when the store's full of 5 or 10 customers. So we really try to see what our young adults are capable of doing and what they want to do, and then try to bring them a little bit further in the game as we go along. So it's really important to know where they're holding and what they can accomplish, but to never give them that's where we're going to cut the line. We always try to push them that little bit more and give them that comfort that they can do more and they can do better.
Yeah, and sometimes it takes a little bit of somebody that you trust and respect saying, "Hey, I think you can do that. I believe in you. Let's give it a try and see what happens." And then you kind of get that confidence like, "Oh, that wasn't so bad. I could do that again." And that confidence goes with you from the work, to home and the other things that you're doing there. So, Full Circle is kind of new on the scene here in the past few months. Is there a story that really sticks out? Um, or before I get into that, I'd like to ask, how many individuals do you currently employ at Full Circle?
So at the present moment, we have two, I would say, full-time employees from young adults with special needs. But that is, they work part-time on pay, and most of the time they volunteer. But we have many different organizations who have joined with us, who send young adults to train them or to work with them on job skills. So in year 2021, we had over 35 young adults come through the store. To work in the back and the front in different areas of the store. And just this year so far, I think we're holding 7 or 8 that have already started to come in either monthly, bi-weekly, and so on to do different jobs to see how things are going.
If long term you want to continue to hire more and more in young adults with disabilities, that means you're going to have to keep growing and new locations or bigger stores. But the way that you're phrase that, Full Circle is kind of a hub where young adults can come in and work and volunteer and gain the skills in a real life setting, not something in a room that's closed off, in a real business, and then they can take those skills that they've learned and put them into the next job application or the job that they get. So that's a really cool design that you have. You do, have some full-time employees, but also to be that hub where others can come and get that training. Now, what does that training look like? Like, how long does that training program last?
So I really don't like to call it training, and the reason being is because I feel it's really intense for certain people, and I like to call ourselves a family.
Mm.
So when people come in, I always want to know, what do you feel comfortable to do? So from looking after the store, there's spacing things out in the right places, there's hanging things up, there's dusting, there's vacuuming, there's cleaning the windows, and so on. And in the back room, when donations come in, there's to organize those donations. There's hang them, there's steam them, there's lint them, put on the tags. Even in the tag making, there's 3 different jobs. So it's really to find out what the young adult, what this person wants to do and how they feel comfortable, and to make sure that they succeed in that. So they feel that success when they come to Full Circle. That's the main thing, that they should feel success. And then to see where we can help them grow in different areas. So we have Julia, who's been with us since we started. She helped us actually paint the room at the Levitt Jewish Community Center where we set up the store. And she's been nonstop, and she's gone to other places along the way, and then come back to us. She's done different volunteer jobs in other places. She's tried other jobs out, but she knows her home is always that she can try. If it didn't work out, there's a home for her to always come back to and try and fix the mistakes that maybe she didn't realize she had beforehand. So training really depends. Sometimes some organizations come in for one day and they kind of go through all of our jobs. It takes them around 2 hours, and they do like 10 minutes and seeing where this young adult is really going to succeed in. We have a young boy who has severe autism, and when I come in, he screams my initial, he spells out my name, and that's how I know he wants me to come over. And then he goes, I'm happy, I'm happy. And his job is just to stamp those labels. And sometimes his mom will help him. He'll lint some clothes and so on. So it's really finding everyone can have a job. Everyone can do something, but trying to find where they're really good at. That's number one priority. When you feel good at something, you're going to feel success. And then you can help with the next level.
Yeah, I love that the young adults are able to kind of go through the different job aspects there. And I just imagine kind of observing and seeing where someone starts to smile because they're enjoying it and be like, we're going to dig in a little bit here because it looks like you're having fun. And I think you would have more fun, doing this more often. Ah, that's so cool. But they still get to go through and see, the different things that they could do there. And I love
Correct.
the hands-on aspect of it. Also, just to tag there, it's really so Julia has been at Full Circle, has kind of gone off, done some other jobs, and then come back. So you're seeing, continued building, getting better, always building on those life skills, those work skills. And what you're saying is, at Full Circle, you can come through to build and then go out. But if you feel like you have to maybe fine tune some things, the door is always open. Come back in. We'll go over those skills again until you feel like you're ready, and then you can go back out again to the other employment opportunity.
Correct.
Cool. I'd like to talk a little bit about donations to Full Circle. Maybe how somebody can donate and things that you're looking for.
Well, we're always looking for donations. If you want to give a generous donation through money, it can be done online through our website, fullcirclebhm.com. And if our store survives off is donation of clothes, women's clothing. And like I said, pretty much everything we take. And no matter, some stores, they only take summer clothes. If it's summertime, winter clothes, we tell everyone we're a one-stop shop. You drop off your donations and we'll work out what to do with them. If it's something that fits in the store, great. If it's not, we'll donate it onto the next place. But the most important part of donating a bag of clothes is that you've just created another job. Someone is going to come in with a young adult with special needs and go through those clothes. And that means that person now, and it happens to be one of Julia's favorite jobs when donations come in. She waits for that moment. She'll go through every piece of individual clothes, fold it so beautifully, and then work out where it needs to go. If it's coming into the store, if it's going into the summer clothes, if it's going into spring, or if it's going on to another donation. So when you donate a bag of clothes, you don't have to think, well, this is a really high-end store. They're not going to take my donation, or if it's in the right season or whatnot. You bring that bag in, you bring those hangers of clothes in, and we'll take them and we'll work out how to do best with them. But the main thing is you're creating another job every single time you bring those clothes in.
So I would say if you're looking in the closet right now and you're saying I have way too many clothes, which I know a few people that do, and you're looking to kind of clean house, you definitely need to donate these to Full Circle because, as Rabbi Levi has mentioned, my microphone just fell down. Just 1 second.
Well,
I
while you're
apologize.
getting the microphone fixed, I'll jump in, and it's not just clothes. Like I said, it's shoes, accessory. People do jewelry, makeup. People do. Everyone has different things that they feel that they can give away. And most people, even a lot of high end stuff that we have in the store, people constantly tell us, "I feel so passionate that my clothes are going to something, good, and it's going to a really good cause, and it's going to get used again, and so on." A lot of people feel like, once my clothes are done with, who else is going to want them? And here, or they're really high end. I don't want to just give them away in a garbage bag to someone. And here they feel really success when they're giving their clothes away. It's just a bigger and stronger meaning for them.
Giving back to the community in multiple ways.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned that you work with other organizations. What are some of those other organizations?
Trian, Mountain Brook High School and their special needs department, who also work with Sanford, and Horizon has sent young adults with us, and there's one more that's slipping my head at the present moment.
Yeah,
But
so
there's
it's I
many.
think
And many have joined, and many have been curious to know. At the present moment, we're still getting different things set up. There's other organizations who want to know when we're ready to hire. They have a whole list to come. So we have to take it obviously as we build slowly. But the more customers we get, the more the money brings in. And people always ask. So when Full Circle is doing amazing, and you're making millions and trillions and who knows how many dollars, please God, one day, I said, then that means no young adult will go without a job. The money is to be reinvested and reinvested and reinvested into the store. That is what it's to create. That's what it's there to make. And we're going to have making sure that no young adult is left behind.
oh, that's amazing. I can see these in every major city in the US. And I'm sure those other organizations that are also trying to help young adults love the storefront that you guys have in that partnership. I bet they're very grateful for that. Now, you also mentioned another aspect of individuals involved at Full Circle, and that is volunteers. If you could touch on that a little bit.
So it's so important. As I said, we're a brand new organization growing. It probably took 30 or 40 people just to get us to these doors, coming up with a name, coming up with a logo, coming up with what we're going to sell in the store, and so on. And big thank you to all of them. And then on a day-to-day basis, we have volunteers who are coming in to sort out the clothes, to make sure the store looks beautiful, to make sure there's someone behind the cash register, and so on, helping out with Julia and others in the store. So we do right now survive pretty much mostly on volunteers. And therefore, from A to Z, if you could do an hour a day, or you could do 3 hours, or you could take on a whole shift, it's really greatly appreciated. And we love hearing from volunteers saying we want to get involved in this. This is something that we really want to be part of. So it's a big deal.
And so anybody can be a volunteer and they can start that process on the webpage.
Yes, I believe on the webpage there is a place to click and to say that I would like to volunteer, or you can send a contact message to us and saying we would like to volunteer, and someone will reach back out to you and tell them what's available. But as we grow, we're just going to need more and more of those volunteers helping with individual young adults, as well as helping with the store and so on. So there's going to be continuous growth with this. And like I said, we take everything with a big smile and with a lot of gratitude. We don't take anything by, this is oh, you could do better, or maybe you could do 2 hours. What anyone gives, we take it as a gift from God, and we really do appreciate it.
And from what you said, you had about 40 volunteers at the beginning that really helped out in multiple aspects. So even if you're, let's say, like a high school kid and you're really good at art and design, and maybe you have to get some volunteer hours done, reach out to Full Circle and see if there's something you can help do, maybe on the website or some logo thing for social media, stuff like that. It sounds like there's quite a bit of opportunity there. I'd like to kind of take a step back. So you said you came to Birmingham in 2012.
Yep.
And where were you before? Where's home?
Home is London, England. Um, I left when I was around 15, 16 years old and started to do my rabbinical studies all around the world. So that's why the accent is a little bit confusing. Argentina, Israel, South Africa, all over the United States. So yeah, I've been around just a little bit, and then thank God met the person who I wanted to settle and live the rest of my life with, and we came back home to her home, Alabama.
Oh, that's amazing story. That traveling, I'd love to do. So the goal is to, in retirement, 60, 70, get a boat and circumnavigate the globe on a sailboat, kind of hit some of those
All that.
places you've talked about. I've heard that Argentina is a beautiful part of the world, and I would love to visit there.
Amazing. You really need to.
So kind of the background here. So you came to Birmingham and realized there was this disconnect there, but what is your driving force to the disability community? Why are you so passionate about it?
So actually, I don't. The word disability, I actually don't use that word, and the reason being is because everyone has abilities. So we can always focus on what people don't have, or we can focus on what people do have. And people with special needs, meaning they maybe have unique compared to what we call normal on our day-to-day basis. My friend Julia can tell me all my kids' birthdays, their date of birth, and what's going on in my life sometimes better than I can. So everyone has uniqueness to them. And I truly have that passion that, when we look at young adults, or we look at children with special needs, each one of them can teach us a lot more than we can help them with. One of the things that they can teach us, which we actually these days really, really miss the point on, is giving true love. When you find someone with special needs and they hug you, there's one reason for that hug. They absolutely adore you and love you. When I come through those doors and someone's saying Levi, and I know he just wants to say hi. He just wants to tell me he loves me. And sincerely, there's no other motivation. There's no other anything behind it. No matter what clothes I'm wearing, no matter my hairstyle, no matter makeup, no matter anything else, it's pure. You are the person I love. And I think that's just such an important message, especially in our day and age, for what we do. But going back to your question of how I became passionate about um, working with people with special needs is I grew up in a community that we had two young boys. One was actually a little bit older than me, and one was more or less my age. And they were part of the community. We went to their houses, we hanged out with them, and I never really saw a difference. Maybe their parents tried to sometimes arrange the visits or the play dates and so on, but or someone like they were part of the community. There was no question asked. And as I traveled and I saw so much going on in the world, I saw that this wasn't the case everywhere. And to me, it's we have to cancel this gap between a special needs world. A special needs mom feels life overwhelming, feels life stressful, and most people, if you don't have a child with special needs, has zero understanding of what that parent is really going through. So it really we need to break this gap with oh, they have a child with special needs. It's more like how can I reach out? When you have, God forbid, a child who breaks their leg or breaks their arm, you're waiting for the whole community to reach out to you and ask you, maybe I can help you. You have a child in hospital, and these parents are trying the best to make their children who maybe not fit into society because they can't handle loud noises or they can't handle, one of the children I've dealt with in the past, a clock ticking is extremely annoying for them. And when I go to sleep, that's also annoying for me. So it's each person has their thing, and sometimes it can really trigger them and set them off. And otherwise, they're amazing, and there's so much you can learn from them. Their brains usually are wired in a whole different way that me and you can have be blown away just by sitting and speaking to these people. So it's really a gap that we need to kind of break and bring to reality that there's our community is one big community. And when we can break that gap, we'll really see a change in many, many other things that we do.
Powerful words there. And I'd like to say, as you were speaking with the individual that spells out your name when you first walk through, and that being that true love there, just some words that you normally don't hear with the workplace: family, love, compassion. So to be able to redesign what many people think of the workplace as, oh, I got to go to work today, those types of things. So using the words, um, to help design the environment at Full Circle and what others can come to expect there. And then I kind of want to ask a question here. You said growing up, you had a few friends that maybe had some special needs, and it was a very tight and good community there. And then as you traveled, you didn't see that everywhere. Is there something that really sticks out to you that growing up, those maybe families or kids or community really did well that made a big difference?
Well, I think our parents, I think everything stems from our parents. Our parents were all friends with each other. We used to hang out together as a community. We used to bring things together as, whenever we did things, and they were just part of everything. So it wasn't, they were never strangers to us. They were never like, oh my gosh, look who's coming. They were always embraced by our parents and by our grandparents. If it was synagogue or whatever else it was, we just saw that they were embraced. So it wasn't, there was never a children grow up and saying something's different. What's wrong? But if they see everyone else embracing someone, they're like, there's nothing wrong. And someone's different than me. That's okay. Today in our society, we just want to fit in. It's like the worst thing in the world. We don't want to fit in. We want to be, God created each individual to be individual. And it's so important to accept that individual exactly the way they are. Otherwise, God didn't need them in this world.
And I love how you stress a few things there, and starting off with the parents. It really does stem from that. You're the leader, in your child's life from a very young age, and to kind of guide them in the right way, and involve them with everything. Sometimes I feel like there are some families in the community that maybe feel ostracized, or there's a lot of different feelings there for some families. But to I think if you kind of don't allow your child to play and be involved in the community, it really can further, be a bad thing for them down the line. They have to do, whether that's early intervention or just being involved in the community, making friends. I heard a quote the other day. It was like, if you see your kid doing something dangerous, but being playful with it, you kind of have to step back and let them do that to gain that confidence. And it's part of your job as the parent to allow those opportunities to happen with others.
A
So,
hundred percent. We've had over here like a younger kids, preschool age, and the parents, it's a program. So some of the parents are speaking to each other, some of the parents are on their phones or whatnot. And then there's a young girl who comes in and she has special needs and she's getting a little bit excited from so many people around her. And instead of like all the parents dropping what they're doing and embracing this and encouraging their younger children, it's kind of like the children come off crying to them, like, okay, you're okay, you're fine, and move on. And instead of saying, wow, look at this young girl, she's beautiful. Is there anything we can get for you? Can we play with you? Can we hang out? So, children, we always need to tell them they're safe, obviously. And we need to make sure they feel safe in a safe environment. But that doesn't mean, God forbid, to exclude anyone. That means inclusion and bringing everyone together.
hmm. Yeah, and I'm not stepping in at every. Don't helicopter too much. So let's
100%.
get back to full circle a little bit. And I think it can be a little bit intimidating for some. I know, especially around that age of trying to get a job. And so, they hear, you know, interviewing, and that can kind of be a scary word. What does interviewing and kind of the onboarding process look like at Full Circle?
So, like I said, we're a family, and we have people who have really been in this and worked in the special needs world 30, 40 years. They really gained the trust of the special needs community. So when someone does apply for a job or wants a job at Full Circle, one of them will basically interview them in a way of let's meet together. It's not so much as an interview. You're going to come with your tie and suit, and we're going to have this intense interview. It's like let's meet together to see what your strengths are, to see what you can do for the store, and so on. Rather than please tell me about yourself, and I'm going to draw you for as much information to see who you are. We know who they are, we know what they want, and for us, it's about seeing what's the best match, how we can best fit them.
So for anyone that's maybe thinking about, applying at Full Circle, I wouldn't be nervous about it. Either send that email or pick up the phone and go into it thinking you're going to meet a new friend, or kind of like you may be catching up with an old friend. And being, it's funny you say that. My favorite way to hold meetings is to either go on like a hike with the individual, and we can talk while we walk, or do like racquetball, something like that. I love playing racquetball during meetings. It gives me a chance to think and process something. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So we should play one day.
Oh, heck yeah. The Ys around here have some really good courts.
I have to come events.
So yeah. Full Circle's only been open really for 2 months, but you've been working on it for the past few years. Um, are there any success stories that really jump out to you from individuals, young adults, being involved with Full Circle?
Every story is a success for itself. I wake up in the morning and that's the day of success. The minute I wake up, it's a motivation that I don't look at. If I look at where we're coming from, where we're going, it can be overwhelming. It can be overwhelming. I get probably a few phone calls a day from some of the young adults with special needs, and my goal is always to tell them it's today. So the success is really focusing on the moment. Today we have severe weather coming. So from the morning, there's already panic in their eyes of what's going to be today and how's it going to be. I said, in the next hour, what's going to happen? Oh, it's going to be good. I was like, okay, so call me in an hour and we'll discuss the next hour. But the main thing is to really, the success is hour by hour, minute by minute. It's not a long time. We're going to get you to your biggest and most famous job ever. That's not who we are. And I've never claimed to be that person. We're here to make sure that the confidence inside of you, the true happiness inside of you, the true you can come out. We just want you to be you.
I needed to hear that. Sometimes I can feel like the plate's a little full. And you start getting anxiety about what you got to do the rest of the week, but just focus on the next hour, focus what's in front of you. Everything's going to be okay. So thank you for saying that. I need.
So what I'll tell you is that it's generally, when we look, a lot of times we're looking at the special needs world and we're looking for like, how are we going to help them? How are we going to be a service to them? They're the biggest service to me. They're the biggest help to me because it really breaks down life. It really breaks down. No one's brain wants to be working 24 hours, 7 days a week. No, so they get triggered maybe by a little bit of different things. But once you break down and understand how their brain is working and how you're officially, quote unquote, helping them, you start to realize, 1 second, I can do this for myself. I can make this a reality to myself. And you change your life. You change your perspective, and they become the best teachers. They say the best teacher is a mirror. If you keep looking at yourself and you keep realizing that everything you see in someone else is really in yourself, you start to change yourself a lot.
Mm. That reflection there and the change and the family atmosphere, I've heard from other employers. I'll give a shout out to Keith Richards and Taziki's Mediterranean Restaurant here in town, where they vow to employ young adults with special needs disability. And he said, when we do that, the environment in the store changes from food, serving food, to more of a family environment. And it's really amazing to see. And I think that kind of comes back to what you were saying is, working alongside and being alongside individuals that maybe have specific strengths helps you kind of be there in the moment and really care for that individual.
I would say the biggest thing. I would say the biggest thing is that is usually in life there's two things we need. meaning and purpose. And you will definitely find that in generally in someone's life that has special needs, there's meaning and purpose. And we've created full circles to really create the purpose, but meaning to know really how to love someone, to know how to tell someone, I appreciate you, and to get a hug, or some of them don't want to give a hug, but to get a high five or whatever else it is, or to get your name screamed out by someone. And it's each individual ways that the way they express themselves. But suddenly you realize that life does matter. And it's not important about the big picture tomorrow or anything else. It's really about today and enjoying the moment.
Hmm. I feel like I want to be around you more just for this knowledge, this wisdom that I'm hearing today.
Whatever you want.
For full, I'm going to take you up on that racquetball for sure. Um, for full circle, are you guys currently hiring? Do you have an
So
opening?
we want people to definitely hire. When we say hiring, it means that we'll start off with a volunteer position, where we will try to see where your strengths are. And once we see that the person can turn up and come and so on, then we will start off with small increments of hours, of paid hours, and so on. But yes, we are ready to take people on and to hear what they want to do and hear what we can offer them, and so on.
I would recommend for a family or for a young adult that's interested, just walk into the store. Just start off by walking into the store and feel it. If you're comfortable in there, maybe introduce yourself, and get some contact information and express your desires to want to be employed. Don't be hesitant to walk in that store. Maybe pick up a few things and just see how you're feeling there. If you're comfortable and you enjoy the people that are already there, take the first step and ask if full circle is hiring. I think that'd be a great thing. I want like 20 young adults to be coming through your doors in the next few weeks.
I love that.
What are the future plans for Full Circle?
My brain doesn't stop thinking, unfortunately or fortunately. I'm not sure which one. But we really have to see how the next 2 years plays out with Full Circle. But the goal is that every young adult with special needs should have a place to come to work. No one should have a place where they don't feel they can work. And obviously, a clothing store is not going to be the best fit for everyone. So how can we make it a village, a center where all different things are happening, and young adults can really find the niche where they feel really good at and they feel comfortable, confident and comfortable, and they keep doing that.
Hmm. So to kind of, maybe it sounds like working with the other companies that are kind of your neighbors and maybe across the street or next door, and saying, hey, we've had a great experience here. You guys should try it as well, and educating the others in the community to also employ. Now, employment has always been a very big thing, a big topic in the community of discussion. Another big thing that I've heard come up as well is transportation and the lack thereof. Now, Full Circle is in Homewood. It's pretty central around Birmingham. Are there good transportation? Does a bus come there?
I don't know about the bus coming. We have some people who Uber, some people who take who drive. Some people, their parents bring them. Some people come with if they're coming with a group, they'll come with a group. So it really depends. I don't know about the bus, but that's generally how people have got there in the past.
Yeah, that
The
just
group,
always seems to be a top. It always seems to be a topic of transportation, especially in the rural areas. And Birmingham, we're pretty big, but we're not as big as some other cities that have railways, major bus routes, that kind of thing. So I know that's a big topic, and I just don't think we have a great solution right now. But I'm hoping in the future we do. So we talked about how can someone donate. So can you just show up at the store with your donations, and you're ready
yeah.
to take them as long as business is open?
As long as business is open, which is Sunday, 12 to 4, Monday through Thursday, it's 11 to 4, and on Friday, it's 11 till 2. Um, and I give a little shout out on Fridays. We have some fresh bread coming from our center. We sell some at the store. So Fridays is usually extra buzzing, but actually a great smell inside the store, fresh bread. Um, But those are the hours. And if you come in, someone will be there to take your donation. They'll give you a donation slip for you to fill out of the donation that you've given. And we try to respect the clothing that comes in, the shoes or the jewelry, everything else. So if you give us a minute, because sometimes we just want to hang it up right away so it doesn't just get pushed, shoved somewhere. But yes, we are there to take donations whenever you're ready to drop them off. And like I said, online, we also have a donation page if you would like to gift to the store to help the store run and make sure we can fulfill all the dreams and make them a reality.
Sounds like Friday's the day to come in. You get some free bread, and you get to meet everybody.
That's $6. But you'll get to enjoy the bread of your lifetime.
Okay. And it's going back to a good cause there. Are there any
Correct.
upcoming events that you would like to kind of shout out that you would want young adults and families to be a part of?
So actually, the good news is that as of this week, Monday, we have all of our winter clothes and boots and so on a 25% discount. So as you come into the store, the first thing I usually hear from everyone is that you're way too cheap. You need to put up your prices. And now what we've done is made a 25% discount on all of our winter clothes. You have fur jackets. You have beautiful sweaters, all the coats, a lot of the jeans. I think all the jeans, all are on 25% discount. So however cheap it was till now is your chance to come in. All the running all the way until March, where end of February, beginning of March will change over to spring. So now is definitely a great chance to come in and enjoy our sale.
Heck yeah. You can start planning for next year. Save 25% in the meantime. As we come to a close here, I always like to ask, is there anything that we haven't talked about that you think a young adult or a family parent could benefit from hearing?
I think it's so important to know that you have a community out there that does care about you and does love you and appreciate who you are. Obviously, no one can feel someone else's pain. No one can feel someone else's struggle. But we're here, we love you, and we want you to be part of our family. So don't feel like a stranger. Don't feel excluded. Don't feel any of those things. Take the courage to come inside, welcome, pick up the phone, call me. The phone comes straight to my cell phone, and I'm here for you. The store is here for you. The community is here for you. We appreciate you for being you, and know that you're always welcome.
I think on behalf of the community, I can say we appreciate you and your family being here in Birmingham and making the moves that you're doing and the movement that you're creating. Not just within the special needs disability community, but what the other companies are seeing, the other families are seeing around you. And it is my big hope that they catch on and some of those store owners come knocking on your door saying, hey, how can we kind of do what you're doing as well? So, well,
That's so, and we
Rabbi
actually have
Levi,
a. I'm just going to end
go
off.
ahead.
We actually have a store who has clothes who now on a weekly basis are bringing clothes over to support us and to help us. Very, 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 very nice stuff. So yeah, thank you. Definitely, we see the community is embracing us and really helping us. But thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah, for sure. And we're going to go ahead and put, the website link in the chat. And are you okay if I also put your contact information, your email in there?
Please. Email, phone number, that's what we're here for. And no one, it's not excluded from anyone. It's there for everyone to use. And that's my excuse of being addicted to my phone.
Very cool. Well, Rabbi Levi, I just want to say thank you for spending the morning with us here and telling us what you're doing with Full Circle and the drive behind it.
Thank you so,
Thanks
so
again,
much.
and all right, and I'll talk to you later, sir. It's good to meet you.
Thank you. Same to you. Have a great day with a lot of success.
You too as well. And then you can just click out of this window, and it will end the stream for you.
Perfect. Thank you.